towards the end of the topic, boys, so we are doing bivariate data today. Bi means two. Variate means variables. So bivariate data is data that measures two different variables. So for example, we may have the wingspan. If you're looking at a swimmer, they're looking at from fingertip to fingertip. That's called your wingspan. And your 50-metre freestyle time. So it would make sense that somebody with a longer wingspan, longer arms, might have a faster 50-metre freestyle time. So it's looking at two completely different things, but seeing how they relate to each other. In a scatter plot, we're just doing a series of dots. Each dot represents one person with two different variables. So variable 1 will be down the bottom here on the horizontal axis or the x-axis, and variable 2 will be on the vertical axis or the y-axis. So if we were doing this question, we might have wingspan down the bottom and 50-metre freestyle time here, because the wingspan might actually tell us what might happen to their 50-metre freestyle time. Okay, so looking at the direction of linear relationship. So when we do these dots, we end up with a series of dots, and then we look at them when we're finished and go, well, what can we discover about these dots? Well, we want to know whether it's a positive or a negative linear relationship. So these dots here are close to a straight line, so it's a linear, coming from the word line. And it's positive as you look at it from left to right, it's increasing, it's going up. So that means it's a positive linear relationship. If it's going the other way, as you look at it from left to right, it's going down, it's decreasing, then it's a negative linear relationship. So they can ask you questions on that. Is the linear relationship positive or negative? And by looking at the graph, you'll be able to tell them. Okay, the next thing we're doing here is the strength of the linear relationship. So if the dots are very close to a straight line, we say it's a strong linear relationship. So this one would be a strong, positive linear relationship. If the dots are a little bit all over the place and they don't really look like they're in a straight line, but they've got some sort of a relationship happening, then we say it's weak. So it's a weak linear relationship. So again, this one is actually a positive one, because as you look at it from left to right, the dots are really going up, but it's very weak. So it would be a weak positive relationship. And down the bottom here, we have the dots all falling perfectly into a straight line. So we call that a perfect linear relationship. Now the last thing we need to do just in this video today is the dependent and independent variables. So the independent variable is always on your horizontal axis or your x-axis. The dependent variable is always on your vertical axis or your y-axis. So what actually is happening here is the variable on the vertical axis actually is depending on what's happening down here on the independent variable. So for you in remote learning at the moment, we could have down here how many hours you are focused on doing your work for school. And here it will be your exam result when you do your next assessment, which, by the way, we are having one this term, so I hope you are keeping on top of all your work, because all of this is going to be assessed. Okay, so we're going to leave it there for this video. I am putting another YouTube clip on that I want you to watch as well, and then you can try the examples and the homework that I'm going to give you on this work. So good luck.